And welcome back to our live coverage here on Rainier Avenue Radio. We're at Cleveland High School and game number 2 of our doubleheader. The boys varsity, Roosevelt, the Rough Riders coming in to face the 1-6 Cleveland Eagles. The Rough Riders, a record of 3-3 so far. I'm joined by Val Whiting, and good to see you this afternoon. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am all right. We are here. You know, it's interesting. We were talking about before coming on the air, just with COVID and the rise with the Omicron variant, and Seattle Public Schools, at least here, not allowing fans to come in. Everybody is masked. The players are not, or some are, but I tell you what, trying to keep this under control.
Yeah,
And
we're in a new age. It's the new normal for us.
yeah, we really are. We had hoped that by this time things would be getting better, but it is what it is. So anyway, we are here about ready to tip off in about a minute. And again, as I said, game number 2 of our doubleheader. And also want to just remind you that if you're a cultural producer who's been impacted by the pandemic, For Culture is offering relief grants, and the amounts between $1,000 to $12,000 to cover your COVID-related losses and to help you move forward with your creative work. So if you're creating cultural experiences in any discipline at any stage of your career, you should apply. Exhibit designers, museum educators, archivists, restoration professionals, curators, archaeologists, history researchers, artists, and much, much more. That means you. Not if you're a fit. Give them, if you're not sure you're a fit, give them a call and they'll talk you through it. Again, this grant provides pandemic relief, and you'll need to show financial loss of anywhere between $1,000 to or more between 2019 and 2020. Deadline to apply is Wednesday, February 2nd. Well, we are about to tip it off here. Cleveland Eagles, the Roosevelt Rough Riders, and the Rough Riders win the tap, and they have the rock. And moving down, the Cleveland Eagles in their 2-3 zone. Long jumper from outside, won't go. That was Jalen Dollar. And rebound to the Eagles. Coming down and driving. Shot is blocked out of bounds. And I believe that was Rainier Avenue Radio's Jeremy Beckwith now underneath, taking the ball out. And we got a delay in the action here. Referee getting everything set. Beckwith looking to inbound. And pass into Makai Delgado, but Makai missed the shot. May have been fouled on the play. I believe so. He's going to go to the line. He'll have a couple of shots. So we're just starting here our second game of the doubleheader. 7:33 left to go in the first quarter. And Makai Delgado, the junior, at the line. First shot is up and rolls around. It is in. It is good. You can hear the Eagles cheer squad just to our right. And so, again, a very small crowd. Second shot is good. And so Delgado puts the Eagles on top. They strike first blood. 2-0 here. Eagles in a press.
All right, a 2-1-2 press on, just slowing the pace down a little bit.
Yeah, get some time off of that shot clock. And now the Rough Riders in front court. The ball is stolen, and that is a DeAndre White. White takes it in, and it's good. DeAndre White with the steal and the bucket, giving the Eagles a 4-0 lead here early at the start of the game. And again, Val, like you said, that press just taking some time off that shot clock. Rough Riders moving the ball around. Three-pointer is up and good. And that was Jalen Dollar.
They did a good job getting the ball in the middle, making the defense collapse, and passing it back out for the three.
Jalen Dollar made them pay as he hit that three-pointer. So 4-3, the Eagles with the lead and the steal. And coming back with defending, and Jeremy Beckwith, and they're going to call, let's see, I don't think a foul. So good play by Beckwith getting back and knocking the ball out of the hands of Jalen Dollar. But the Rough Riders will retain possession, so they'll have a new 30 on the shot clock. 6:30 left to go here. We're just a minute and a half into the ball game. And the Rough Riders on the perimeter of this 2-3 zone trying to find an opening. Moving the ball around the perimeter. From the top, long three-pointer, won't go, hits the back iron. And rebound comes down to Makai Delgado. And the Eagles on the run, and I believe that was Andrew Fortney. No, check that. DeAndre White with the bucket. And White gives the Eagles a 6-3 lead. And Val, so far that press is causing some turnovers here. Turnover, Eagles coming down, the turnover and the bucket. That was Makai Delgado with the bucket. The steal was Trayvon Mitchell. And the Eagles leading it 8-3 here early in the ball game.
It's making them go faster than what they want to go, and this is what the press is doing a good job of that. But just get the ball in the middle, settle, look for some shooters on the perimeter, get some good shots up.
And another bad pass, but almost a turnover. And taking it in, the big guy, number 10, Danilo Petrovic, 6'4" senior forward. He gets a bucket for the Rough Riders to make it a three-point ball game. Cleveland leading 8-5. And the Eagles and the over and back. So again, Val, as a coach, I know you hate those unforced errors like that, and just a bad pass. Beckwith not able to handle it, and over and back.
Yeah, I think he probably added one more gray hair.
Yeah, really. That's a young man over there, too. Get some grays early. At least he's got some hair. Okay. Rough Riders on the perimeter. Big guy, Petrovic, back outside on the top. And the Rough Riders moving the ball around. Long three-pointer on the left baseline won't go. That was short, Jalen Dollar.
One of the best ways to beat a zone is to get that ball inside, make the defense collapse, and then pass it back out.
And that takes some patience, yeah. And so we'll see, if the Rough Riders can kind of figure out that Eagle, their 2-3 zone. Right now it's working for the Eagles. The Eagles leading at 8-5 here. We're almost halfway through the first frame. We're live at Cleveland High School. Cleveland now moving the ball around. Roosevelt looks like they're in a man defense in the drive, and that's Mitchell. And Mitchell with the ball on the ground. I think he's going to be fouled. And that was on the floor. So the Eagles will take it out. Baseline inbounds. They have a new 30 on the shot clock. Inbound to White. White out to Beckwith. Beckwith on the perimeter. Going to his left. Finds a little opening on the elbow. Gets the shot up. Won't go. Rebound the Rough Riders. And Roosevelt on the run. And taking it in. The big guy. It's good.
Great strong move going to the basket using his left hand.
Danilo Petrovic. 6'4" junior, or 6'4" senior, I should say. And he pulls the Rough Riders to within 8-7. The Eagles lead it here. Just under 4 minutes left to play in the first quarter. A good pass inside the Eagles and not able to get the bucket. Gets his own rebound. Once again, gets his own rebound, and that was Makai Delgado. So a couple of putbacks, but couldn't knock it down. Rough Riders on the run.
That was great hustle. You just got to settle yourself, take your time, draw the foul, or reset the offense.
Three-pointer by the Rough Riders won't go. Fight for the rebound. And that is Mitchell with the rebound and pass. Knocked out of bounds, but I think the Eagles will retain possession. And Val, I'm checking into the game for the Rough Riders, number 3, Sam Villa. And I'm looking at the Rough Riders. They have a number 15 on the roster, which I don't have. I don't know. Does your roster have a number 15 on it?
No. On JV, there's a 15.
That might be a JV player coming up. So we'll assume at this point, I guess. Eagles moving the ball around. Again, looking for an opening, leading at 8-7 here. 3:15 left to go in the first quarter. And they're going to call it travel. So turnover again, kind of unforced error there. But, tough defense will force you into kind of hurrying things up. So the Rough Riders now with the ball, no pressure, coming across the timeline. Petrovic with the ball. Finds Dollar with the long three-pointer. It's good. Jalen Dollar, second three-pointer here in the first quarter, giving the Rough Riders their first lead, 10-8.
He might be the team's official zone buster. They can get him out of that zone, get him into man-to-man.
Yeah, good point. That's the one thing as a coach, I always tell my players, know who the shooter is. You got to get out there and contest that three-pointer. Eagles moving the ball around, 9 on the shot clock. And the Rough Riders in the zone, and a good drive to the bucket, but they call an offensive foul on Makai Delgado. Delgado showing his athletic ability, took off, but no play there. Well, actually, they called a foul. The bucket was short, didn't go in. Shot, I should say, didn't go in. So turnover there. Eagles back in there.
That was great help side position.
And Delgado forced it a little bit there. And they're going to call a travel. So defense there forces a travel. Turnover. And the Eagles will take it back over. Again, trailing 10-8. 2:23 left to go here in the first quarter. We're live at Cleveland High School. I'm Rick Dupree along with Val Whiting. You're listening to us live right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. And make sure to stay tuned to Rainier Avenue Radio. Some special programming as usual coming up for MLK Day. We'll tell you more about that as we go in the broadcast. Right now, the Eagles, and they're going to call a moving screen, I believe, on number 11, Jaden Small. And so Small called on that foul. And KC, the referee, one of the veterans here in not only the Metro League, but Washington State WIAA, and points out one of the players had a shoelace untied, so blew the whistle. Trying to keep it safe out here. All right, with 2:08 left to go now.
That took me back to third grade basketball. Stop the game for a shoelace.
Yeah, really. And good ball movement by the Rough Riders, and then shot is no good, but coming on the weak side there was number 10, Danilo Petrovic. And Petrovic, the tap in.
There he is again.
And Petrovic with the steal, goes up to dunk, and it won't go. Hey, if you're going up there, Bill, you got to make sure you can get it down on the other end. And the drive, and that's DeAndre White with the bucket. And I believe the scoreboard is wrong. It's reading there. They just corrected it. So Roosevelt leading, and a steal there by the Eagles. That's White. And driving to the basket. The bucket is good, and he's fouled Makai Delgado. So great play by DeAndre White to make the steal, get the pass off. And then White with the drive to the, Makai Delgado with the drive to the basket. And it's good. He'll go to the line for one shot. So 1:22 left to play. Makai Delgado at the line with the score tied 12-12, trying to give the Eagles the lead again. And free throw is up. And it is good. Eagles back in that, looks like a 2-2-1 press. 1-2-2. Yep. And contesting at the half-court line. Long three-pointer falls short, but there for the rebound, untouched, Dante Washington. And Washington tips it in to give the Rough Riders the 1-point lead, 14-13.
One thing about playing a zone, you definitely have to rebound out of it. You got to find the player and box out and know your spots.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Try to keep them off the offensive glass, and the Eagles did not do that. So they forced a tough shot from a dollar, and the three-pointer was short. But again, like you said there, they didn't box out on the backside. And coming in for that was Washington to get the bucket. So 1:05 left to go here in the first quarter. We're live at Cleveland High School. Varsity boys, Cleveland Eagles, and hosting, I should say, the Rough Riders. Rough Riders coached by Bruce Richardson. Eagles coached by Fred Wilson, and the Rough Riders leading at 14-13. Right here you can hear the small Eagle cheer squad, 5 of the young ladies here, trying to get the small crowd that is here kind of excited about the game. And it is a very, very small crowd as I'm looking around. We've got some cameras, some people videotaping the game, if you will. And only a handful of fans on each side of the court. So again, the Metro League, at this point at least, restricting fans from coming to the game, trying to keep it safe here with the spread of the virus. So back in action, the Eagles with the ball. White with it on top. Back to White. White dribbling baseline. Kicks it out to Small. Small with the drive inside and fouled. I think Val felt the foul and kind of put a shot up. Not a good shot, but he didn't need it because he knew he was fouled, so he'll go to the line for 2 shots.
The Eagles are doing a great job in their offense staying with movement, which is forcing the defense to be off balance, and that created that foul for him.
So Jaden Small sophomore at the line. He'll have 2 shots, 45 seconds left in the quarter. His first free throw is up, and it is good. That ties the ball game at 14. I tell you, the Eagles at 1-6, if I'm not mistaken, coming in. The Rough Riders at 3-3, but the Eagles not playing like a team that's only won 1 game. The key, obviously, is to sustain that.
They're playing with a lot of confidence, and I think their press is giving that to them.
And I'll talk about, how important, people don't, I think, realize how important having that confidence is. It really is important.
Yeah, you need to have, stable confidence. A lot of times players have their confidence is on a roller coaster, so it goes up and down with how they play. But you want your confidence to be on a confidence train where it's stable no matter what happens, good or bad.
Good point. So the Eagles forced the turnover, and then the drive to the basket. Jaden Small, a hard, strong move to the basket. He was fouled, so he'll go back to the line for 2 more shots. And the Eagles with a 1-point lead right now, 15-14, 29.1 left to play here in quarter number 1. So again, here it's fairly quiet here, only a few fans here. And Small's first free throw falls short, hits the front iron. And checking into the game for the Rough Riders, number 2, Jackson Huntington, 6'1" sophomore guard. Jaden Small, the sophomore, his second shot is up and good, so he's 3 for 4 at the line. And that gives the Eagles a 2-point lead, 16-14 here with just 20 seconds left to go here in quarter number 1. Rough Riders across the timeline, and the shot clock is off. And the shot driving to the basket, and again, that is that man, number 10, Danilo Petrovic, his 8th point of the first quarter. And the Eagles fast break down and foul down near the baseline. Blocking foul on the floor. And neither team in the bonus yet. So the Eagles with a 10.8 will take it out on the baseline. Eagles moving the ball around, and the ball is tipped out of bounds. Eagles will retain possession, 7.6 now on the shot clock, or rather on the quarter clock. 7.6 to go in the first quarter. And the steal on the inbounds pass. Petrovic takes it in, and it's good. And they're going to call a foul. Petrovic, a great anticipation there, and got the steal.
He gets it done on both ends of the court, and the Eagles do not have an answer for him, at least for this quarter.
Yeah, no, good point. It's 6'4", the senior forward, and making the Eagles pay. Again, you can't get sloppy on the inbounds pass, and that's exactly what the Eagles did. Petrovic, his free throw is up and good. That's his 11th point. He has 11 of the Rough Riders' 19 points, and the shot at the buzzer won't go. And so at the end of 1, Roosevelt leading it by a score of 19-16. And Val, I tell you what, a well-played first quarter.
It was a little bit turnover-ridden in the beginning, but I think both teams settled down. Franklin had a chance to see what they could do against that press and got a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah. And if you're now Cleveland, again, a team, and you talked about they're playing with some confidence, even though they've only have 1 win. If you're Cleveland coach Fred Wilson, what are you telling your players here after what you saw in the first quarter?
I'm saying, who's going to stop number 10?
Yeah.
Put a body on him. Don't allow him to drive to the basket. Use some ball fakes with regards to being on offense, so you won't give away those steals. That's what I'm telling them. And continue to take the ball to the basket, because right now Franklin has 6 personal fouls, team fouls. And 1 more team foul, they're going to be in the bonus.
Yeah, good point. And, so Cleveland, again, with only 1 win, but holding tight here, only trailing by 3, 16-19. And one of the things that in talking to one of the Cleveland parents, he was talking about, we're every team, we're just too small. Every team is bigger than us. And I think Cleveland's tallest player is maybe 6'3", 6'4". So it makes it tough for them. And again, as you mentioned, Danilo Petrovic, number 10 for Roosevelt, the Rough Riders, he is getting it done. He finishes that first quarter with 11 points. So 11 of the Rough Riders, 19 points in that first quarter. And he'll take the ball out right in front of us here on the sideline to start the second quarter.
Yeah, he's causing trouble on both ends of the court. Actually, he probably should have 13. He missed that left-handed dunk.
Yeah, good point, yeah. So the Rough Riders with the ball. Imran Hassan with the ball. Over to Jalen Dollar. Dollar to Petrovic. Petrovic, long 3-pointer. Off the Back iron won't go. Rebound comes down to Trayvon Mitchell. And Mitchell over to Beckwith. And so the Rough Riders, looks like they're pretty much, well, no, it looks like they're trying to tell, they're in a zone, kind of a matchup zone. So they've kind of gone back and forth between a man coverage and man defense, I should say, and zone. Drive to the basket and kind of off balance, but it goes in. DeAndre White off the window. Makes it a 1-point ball game. Roosevelt 19, Cleveland 18. Long three-pointer. Dollar won't go. Fight for the rebound, and Petrovic is there. Puts it back up, won't go. And now Mitchell with the rebound, and he is going to be tied up, and let's see what the call is. So, again, Cleveland undersized, but I tell you what, fighting for that rebound, and let's see what the call is, Anna. So call a foul on a, look like he said number 14, Val. I don't see. Well, nevertheless, it's a foul on the Rough Riders. I'm not sure who the foul was on. Looking at the scoreboard to see if they have it there. They didn't. But anyway, foul on Roosevelt on the rebound. And so the Eagles with the ball. We're a minute into the second quarter. Roosevelt leading Cleveland by a score of 19-18. And it looks like the referee's still trying to get everything sorted out.
I don't know if they called it on Petrovic because I don't see him out there.
That's a good point. That may have been the foul. Again, the scoreboard is not showing the player who the foul is on. But it is the 17th foul on Roosevelt. And so going to the line for the Eagles is number 13, Trayvon Mitchell. He'll have 2 shots. Or check that, he'll have a 1-and-1. Mitchell dribbles, the bend, the shot. And it's good. So he'll get a second shot, making that first one. And that ties the ball game up at 19 with 7:03 left to play here in the first half. About a minute into quarter number 2. Mitchell, deep breath, another dribble. And the shot hits the back iron, no good. And rebound comes down to Sam Villa, 6'3" senior forward for the Rough Riders. And now Jalen Dollar. And lefty on the left side, and that was Jackson Huntington. Won't go. Rebound to the Eagles. They cross the timeline. It's DeAndre White with it. White drives in, loses the ball, and second they're going to say it was out on the Rough Riders, so the Eagles will maintain possession. 23 on the shot clock. Beckwith taking it out. And bad pass out, but DeAndre White able to get it. White on the left side. Shot is short. And rebound comes down to Sam Villa. And the Rough Riders on the run. Dollar to Villa, back to Dollar. Now Dollar trying to set up the offense, calling for a screen. Gets it. And then the little give and go. And good defense by White. White forcing the turnover. And Mitchell with the ball.
They need a really good shot right here. Nice to be patient, work the ball on, make the defense work.
That's a really good point. We've got 16 on the shot clock, so no rush.
Oh, that's a tough shot.
Yeah. Mitchell going over a bigger guy and not able to get it to fall down. So the Rough Riders on the run. Corner three-pointer won't go. Fight for the rebound, and the Rough Riders get it back. Huntington missed, but kind of tipped the ball, and the Rough Riders have a new 30 on the shot clock. Dollar with it out top. And drive to the basket. Looks like a shot block, and Beckwith comes down with it for the Eagles. He's on the run across the timeline.
Yeah, I don't think Coach liked that shot.
Yeah, I don't blame him. And Beckwith the pass over to Mitchell. Mitchell can't handle it. Goes out of bounds, so turnover back to the Rough Riders. Still score tied here, 19-19, 5:35 left to go in the first half. We are live at Cleveland High School, home of the Eagles, and they are hosting the Roosevelt Rough Riders as Metro League action in full swing. And games typically not on Saturday, but one of the reasons also a shortage of referees, and so they can't play as many games on all the evenings that they would play, which typically will be Friday night, Tuesday and Friday for the boys. So we
is it because of COVID? Is that why they're
well, I know there's been a shortage of referees. There's been some problems, and we've made some appeals. Long three-pointer by Dollar won't go, and that was at the shot clock. He had to get it off. But yeah, Val. So again, I'm not sure if it's COVID related or just a shortage of officials, and definitely at the rec league and youth league level, there's been a real shortage of referees. But I think it's been a problem with Metro League as well. It was a problem in football where they had to move some of the games from typical Friday night to Saturday.
Oh, I was not aware of that at all.
So the Eagles with the ball, the long shot on the right side won't go. Rebound comes down to Imran Hassan. Now Dollar with it across the timeline. Dollar over to Villa. Eagles staying in the zone. And again, probably a good defense to be, especially if giving up that size. Tough shot there, won't go. Rebound and won't go as well. So that was Hassan and then Huntington with the follow.
They are a different team with Petrovic on the bench.
Yeah, they really are. You know, you made the point earlier about them seeing that they just are not working the ball around to get good shots. They're forcing it.
Got to make I always say, make the defense work. Go from one side of the court to the other, you'll get some open shots. And you don't necessarily have to shoot threes to beat the zone.
Well, you know, it's interesting. I mean, I think with Steph Curry and you know, his success, Beck with the drive on the left side off the window, high banker, it goes in, giving the Eagles a 21-19 lead. I was going to say with Steph Curry and the fact that, I mean, you know, it's interesting. You know, he broke Ray Allen's three-point career, 3 points made recently, and you know, hearing Reggie Miller and others talk about Steph Curry and said, you know, this guy, I mean, there's no bad shot for him. He just, you know, but I say that to say this is with the three-pointer, oftentimes, especially young players, instead of getting the open shot and regardless of where it's at, they're looking at the three-point line, coming back and trying to shoot the three. And I used to always tell my kids, I said, look, the three-pointer at that time when I was coaching, Ray Allen was at his heyday. And I said, you know, Ray Allen's probably the best three-point shooter around. And, you know, you look at his career average percentage, and it's under 40%. You know, that's a hard shot. And, you know, I said, need to work around and get a better shot. But oftentimes players don't.
I mean, just because you can shoot it doesn't mean you should be shooting it.
Good point.
And what's a good shot for Steph Curry is a good shot for Steph Curry, not necessarily a good shot for you.
Very good point. And so foul on the play, a free throw by Cleveland Eagles, no good. And Roosevelt with the ball. Eagles again with the 21-19 lead here. 3:40 left to play in the first half, I should say. Driving to the basket, kick out, and a three-pointer two-pointer. Check that two-pointer. That was number 3, Sam Villa.
That was a great penetrating pitch.
Gonna penetrate and kick
Max?
out. Yeah.
It's number 15. I guess I'll call him Max, but I don't know if that's Max.
We're not sure. And three-pointer by the Eagles on the other end by another player, number 32. We don't have his name. He misses. And the Rough Riders, a good drive in using his body. That was number 15. And that gives the Rough Riders a 2-point lead with 3 minutes left to go here in the first half. Rough Riders leading it by a score of 23-21, and checking back in for the Rough Riders is Danilo Petrovic. And he has carried the team, but got his, I believe it was his second foul, if not the third, and they sat him down. He's back in with 3 minutes left to go here in the first half. Beckwith with the ball across the timeline. Eagles looking for a spot in this Rough Rider defense. The Eagles being patient, moving the ball around. And getting to a spot, the shot won't go. That was Delgado coming down with the rebound. The Rough Riders on the run. And Dollar with it on the left, driving in. Nice dish off. The big guy inside, but that is Washington. Washington can't sink it. Fight for the rebound and loose ball. Eagles come up with it. As White comes across the timeline. Ball knocked away, and I believe the Eagles will retain possession. Jalen Dollar with a good defensive play, got a hand on the ball, knocked it out of bounds. So a 2:18 left to go here in the first half. The Rough Riders go back on top 23-21.
The last shot they took was a really tough shot. It was a fadeaway jump shot. They're in the bonus. Take the ball to the basket. Get yourself to the free throw line.
That's a really good point. And even though the player got to his spot, yeah, like you said, it was a tough shot because still was defended and had to do a little fadeaway. So Eagles with an air ball and the Rough Riders on the other end. Drive to the basket and nice body way to use his body. Again, number 15. We'll try to at halftime make sure we a couple players here we don't have their names. We'll go to the scorers table and try to get the accurate roster. But number 15 for the Rough Riders with the bucket. On the other end, Cleveland.
There you go.
Oh, good drive to the basket all the way in, and that is Makai Delgado. Delgado pulling the Eagles to within a couple of
Are we
points.
sure that it doesn't look like his picture? Look at his picture and then look at him.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So we will get that. We'll have to find out because they're right. That is not
somebody's mama's at home. That's not my baby.
Yeah, that's a really good point. We will have to go. We'll get that squared away. We got the roster here as we came in, but it doesn't look like it's totally accurate. So the Rough Riders, a couple of tries at the basket, ball knocked out of bounds, so the Eagles will take over possession with about a minute left to go in the first half, with the Roosevelt leading at 25-23. Yeah, so we got a roster here with the pictures of the players, and it says number 5, Makai Delgado, but and Val pointed out, yeah, that doesn't look like him. So we shall see. Eagles moving the ball around. And errant pass goes out of bounds, so the Eagles squander an opportunity there to try to tie the ball game, or rather I should say to take the lead. It's tied up at 25 all. 40 seconds left, 30 on the shot clock, so a 10-second difference. Eagles with the ball and across the timeline. Petrovic with it, and he slips down, loses the ball. Fight for the ball, and the Eagles come up with it.
Surprised that was a no call. They got numbers. They take it.
Yeah. Not paying attention to that. And the ball tipped, and it's going to go out of bounds off of the Roosevelt. So the Eagles will have possession. The score is tied 25-25, and the Eagles have it, and 16.2 left to play here in the first half.
Gap Smiley says number 5 is Harvey.
Okay, number 5 is Darius Harvey. Thank you. We appreciate that. And yeah, looking at the picture, I can see it now. But you're going off a numerical roster. You're not paying attention to that. Okay. Eagles driving the ball. Mitchell gets the shot in the paint, and Mitchell knocks it down. Trayvon Mitchell giving the Eagles a 27-25 lead. And the Eagles will go into the locker room leading it 27-25. So, Val, as we kind of recap this first half here, any keys that you saw? Because, again, the first quarter, Roosevelt, kind of the more dominant team, especially with Danilo Petrovic. He sat a lot of that second quarter. The Eagles took advantage of it and going to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that Cleveland is a smaller team, and it's something that that they may think they're at a disadvantage, and it shows with regards to the boxing out. They're getting beat on the boards by Roosevelt. So this next half, keeping them off the boards, especially Petrovic, who's a monster today, and continue to take it at them, get them in foul trouble again.
Yeah, no, absolutely, good point. So I'm going to throw it to Daniel Bellis. I'm going to go over to the scores table and try to make sure we got the rosters right. But again, we are at halftime here, and now they've corrected the scoreboard, and they're saying there's a 25-25 tie, not a 27-25 Cleveland lead. So here at the half, tie 25-25. We'll be back in about 10 minutes with quarter number 3. Right now, let's throw it to Daniel Bellis.
Yeah, thank you there, Rick Dupree and Val Whiting for calling your game here at the half. It's all knotted up at 25 all with Roosevelt and Cleveland. A far cry from the girls' game earlier today, which was a dominating effort by Roosevelt, but the highest scoring performance by the Cleveland Eagle girls this season, putting up 26, as opposed to their previous record so far this season, 25. So good effort by the Cleveland girls right there, putting that up. But Roosevelt, of course, took the win. And with that, they moved the girls into second place in the Sound Division, although they were tied with Ballard, and Ballard will play tonight. So we'll see how that all shakes out later tonight. But in boys action, O'Day was actually playing a very close game against the Ballard Beavers, an unranked Ballard Beavers 4-4 team. Number 7 O'Day was given all that they were worth, but they were able to pull it out. Ballard got within 5 points late in the third quarter, but it was all O'Day after that. And they win that contest 59-42. Number 7 O'Day moves to 9-1 on the season as they get ready for their next contest this Tuesday right here on Rainier Avenue Radio as they visit number 1 Garfield. That's going down this Tuesday at 7:15 p.m. on this station, Rainier Avenue Radio, all of our visual platforms as well, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and actually now Twitter as well. So you can listen all there. O'Day, number 7 at number 1 Garfield. It's a heavyweight Metro League fight going on as both the Metro League Mountain leader O'Day takes on the Metro League Valley leader Garfield for a huge one right here, Rainier Avenue Radio, 7:15 p.m. this Tuesday p.m. Beach is actually having a great season as well as they lead the Sound Division. They are 7-0 on the season, 6-0 in conference, but hot on their heels is West Seattle, who's having a great, surprising season. They lead 3A in defense. They have allowed the least amount of points per game at 41.8 per game, more than anybody so far this year. And it is showing on the scoreboard as they are 6-0 on the season. And that is as well as 6-0 overall, 5-0 on in conference. So right now, both Rainier Beach and West Seattle are undefeated, and right on our schedule here in a couple of weeks, we are scheduled to broadcast Beach and West Seattle at each other, and they might go into this game undefeated. However, there are some saying that West Seattle hasn't been properly tested. So we'll see how that ends up going as we quickly look at West Seattle's schedule so far this season to see who they have played to make this undefeated record. They did defeat Eastside Catholic, but Eastside Catholic this is not a Eastside Catholic Crusader team that we're used to. They did not perform as well in the Hardwood Invite as some expected and took a couple of losses there. And as well as that, they lost to Auburn earlier this year as well. So Eastside Catholic, although they are still ranked at number 16, they are 6-4 on the season. So not the but back to West Seattle, they have also defeated Skyline, Bishop Blanchette, Nathan Hale, and Ballard. So here's what folks are saying. They haven't played Garfield. They haven't played Rainier Beach. They haven't played O'Day. So will that undefeated record hold up? We don't know, because usually the big powers that be usually rule the league. But West Seattle making very interesting here in the 2021-22 season. Also, in top 20 action, Mount Spokane at number 3 was able to squeak out a win against Gonzaga Prep last night, 55-52. They moved to 10-2 on the season. They are definitely a team to beat, as well as Auburn, who just defeated one of their league rivals, number 19 Kent, who's ranked in the 4A, 85-50, a dominating win. They're 9-1 on the season. Here with your halftime report at 3:08 p.m. on your community radio station. I'm Daniel Bellis, and number 6 Gig Harbor yesterday, a dominating performance against the River Ridge, 73-39. Gig Harbor is also undefeated on the season. So in 3A boys action, you have 4 teams that are undefeated so far: Garfield, Beach, West Seattle, and Gig Harbor. 3 of those in the Metro League. Mount Vernon defeated Oak Harbor yesterday. A big win for them. 64-43 moves them to 7-1 on the season at number 10. Shorecrest, a dominating win against Marysville Getchell, 68-54. They're 8-1 at number 11. Arlington at number 12 actually lost a contest against Stanwood. Drops them to 6-3 on the season. They lost 62-56 right there. And also in top 20 action, Ferris winning over North Central, 65-50, moves number 13 Ferris to 8-3. Also over there on the east side, Mount Tahoma will be playing against Tacoma Lincoln at 4 p.m. today at number 14. Bellevue, the number 15 team, will be playing at 6 p.m. tonight at Mariner. And as we mentioned, Eastside Catholic getting a huge test. Getting a huge test. Eastside Catholic as they host number 1 Garfield Bulldogs. That game going down at 7:30 p.m. Other games that are huge prominence in the Metro League. Number 2 Rainier Beach will be at Bishop Blanchette, but also West Seattle getting possibly their toughest test of the season tonight at 7:30 as they visit number 8 Seattle Prep. West Seattle at Seattle Prep right there. 7:30 tonight. You can check that out right there. Rainier Avenue Radio, your community radio station, 3:11 p.m. Here myself, Daniel Bellis, at right here at Cleveland High School, all knotted up, 25 apiece here. Yes, and we're about a couple of seconds away, as you can see on your screen on your visual platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter as well. All of them. You can watch them right here. Also on our app, Rainier Avenue Radio. Go ahead and download that for free, iPhone and Android users. And also on our website, RainierAvenueRadio.world. There's a player in the upper right corner. You can check it out there. Here with the call on your game, of course, you have Rick Dupree. You have Val Whiting on your color commentary. Tony B with us. Loris Prim on the camera. And we're going to go ahead and throw it to our team, Rick Dupree and Val Whiting.
Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate it. Also want to remind our listeners that big MLK Day holiday weekend planned for you at Columbia City Theater. Check us out on January 15th from noon until 5. A vendor fair should be a great event. And then on the 16th, Youth Day with performances, panel discussions from 2 to 4. That'll be a virtual event. And then, of course, on the day itself, the 17th, the rally and march starting at Garfield High School. That starts at 11 o'clock, and then march to the MLK Memorial on MLK Way, I should say. And that's from 11 until 3 with more on that. But right now, second half starting, and they corrected the score. And again, it was 25-25, so there's a correction there. And the Roosevelt Rough Riders with the ball. And again, trying to penetrate this Cleveland zone. Val and Cleveland starting out, keeping them on the perimeter. Long shot. That's how you get him out of it, huh? Long three-pointer. That was a Rylan Bashore. And Bashore trying to shoot the Eagles out of that zone. Hits the three-pointer.
That's great patience, that possession.
Eagles on the other end. The shot won't go. That was Jaden Small. And I have never figured out how someone can shoot the ball. There's no rotation on the ball. But that was a shot with no rotation. I tried to do it. I can't do it. But I guess, I learned early. You got that follow-through, and you get the spin and down underneath. And the shot won't go. And the ball out of bounds. And so that was Petrovic and got under, in the paint there, Val, but just not able to knock down the lay-in.
Yeah, if I were the Rough Riders, I'd have him touch the ball every single time down the floor.
Absolutely, yeah. And
he doesn't have to shoot it, but at least touch it.
Well, he showed at that time the inbounds pass, and he found Number 23, Dante Washington for the lay-in on the other end. Three-pointer won't go again, and Cleveland not showing any patience on the offensive end.
Well, one and done.
Yeah. Rough Riders now leading at 30-25. And moving the ball on the perimeter. And trying to penetrate inside. Petrovic. And Petrovic, there you go, Val. You said it. He needs to touch the ball every time. He takes it in for the bucket. So just like that, 7-0 run here in less than 2 minutes. And the Rough Riders take a 32-25 lead over the Eagles. So Eagles coach Fred Wilson calling his team to the sideline and saying, let's take a look at this, guys. Let's figure this out. And again, also want to remind all of our listeners and those of you that may be an artist, you can get some money. Yes, you can. For Culture is offering pandemic relief money. So if you were impacted by the pandemic, that you can quantify worth $1,000 or more, you qualify for a grant. You can go to For Culture, their website, and the grants they're offering are anywhere from $1,000 to $12,000 to help cover your COVID-related losses and to help you keep moving forward with your creative project. For more information, go to, again, the For Culture website or give them a call, and they can give you some direction. And we'll give you more information on that. But again, the website is the best way. And the deadline, I believe, on that is Wednesday, February 2nd. So you've got a little bit of time to check that out. Well, back in action now. The Eagles with the ball. And the Rough Riders in a zone. The shot on the end. And again, Val, a quick shot and just not moving the ball around, trying to penetrate the Rough Riders zone. Rough Riders on the other end. Drive on the baseline. Petrovic, nice move, won't go. Therefore, rebound won't go. And the Eagles have it on the run. Beckwith out to White, and White can't convert the lay-in. So the Rough Riders with the ball.
That was a great hustle back by Sam Lynn. He really he bothered that shot. He made him force that layup, missed that layup, excuse me.
Yeah, and that's one thing you want from your players. Never give up and really hustle down. Three-pointer on the other end. And, oh, my goodness, Jalen Dollar drains a deep three. His third of the ball game, giving the Rough Riders a quick 10-point lead. And the steal. Petrovic getting the hands up on the pass and gets the steal. So the Rough Riders now, again, a 10-point lead. Drive on the baseline, kick out. Dollar's open again, and it's going to draw nothing but air on that one. Eagles on the other end, drive to the basket, and a strong move to the basket by Makai Delgado. And Kai fouled and will go to the line. I believe, yes, he'll be shooting two. Check that. I said that was Darius Harvey. Forgive me. I'm getting that right. So Darius Harvey. Harvey's first free throw up, and it is good. We got the numbers squared away at the scorer's desk at halftime, so apologize for that. We were calling Makai Delgado was actually Darius Harvey, and Harvey at the line. His second shot is up, hits the back iron, no good. And so the Rough Riders with the ball. 5 minutes left to go here in quarter number 3. Rough Riders trying to penetrate. Petrovic, nice move on the paint. Oh, my goodness. Got to fake in the paint and then spun toward the baseline and laid it in for the bucket.
Beautiful footwork. I think that was an and one. They're letting him beat him up a little bit because he's big and physical, but, he's getting fouled.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. On the other end, Trayvon Mitchell there for the bucket in the paint. So that time, Cleveland a little bit more patient on the offensive end and got in the paint and got a good shot. And then a steal. Knocking the ball away was Darius Harvey. And now DeAndre White with the ball. And the Eagles trying to move the ball, and it looks like it's going to go out of bounds. And they're going to say it is off of the Eagles, I believe, Val. Yep. So errant pass, and the Eagles not able to handle it. Goes all the way into backcourt out of bounds. And so the turnover will go to Roosevelt. Inbound pass. No, Val, you can't let that happen. Sam Villa gets the inbounds pass the second time now. He's gotten on the inbounds, a baseline inbounds, and got the lay-in.
I don't know if they weren't ready or it's just a genius play, but somebody needs to catch that guy.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing, you got to protect the basket, if nothing else. On the other end, short jumper. That is Harvey won't go. And looks like Harvey is down. Yeah, Harvey is down on the floor. And Cleveland trainer taking a look at him. So we'll see. Hopefully nothing serious. 3:48 left to go here in the third quarter. And after a tie ball game, 25 all at the half, in less than 5 minutes, Roosevelt has gone out to a 39-28 lead. So outscoring the Eagles by 11 points, or rather, outscoring the Eagles by 11 points here. So Harvey still on the floor. And we'll see what's going on. Doesn't look like he's moving his legs around, so it doesn't look like it's a leg injury, knee or anything like that. But, well, I'll check that. They're looking at his left leg. So we shall see. As soon as we know anything, we'll let you know. Again, I was saying earlier, if you are a artist, a cultural producer, and you've been impacted by COVID, and the pandemic has made it more difficult for you to get your project going, For Culture is offering some grant relief. They're called relief grants, between $1,000 to $12,000 to cover your COVID-related losses, and hopefully to help you move forward with your creative project. So the grant is to provide a pandemic relief, so you'll need to show financial loss of at least $1,000 or more at some time in either 2019 or 2020. The deadline to apply is Wednesday, February 2nd. And you can go to the For Culture website, I should say, For Culture. That's the number 4, and then culture.org, and then /recovery to get information on virtual group workshops, application support, language translation, and more. If you need English language support in order to talk to For Culture staff, I don't know why I can't say that word, please email them at hello@forculture.org. And Harvey on his feet now, walking off, but they're going to take him into the locker room and take a look. But that's a good sign. At least he was on under his own power, was able to get up and walk off the court. So action will resume here in a moment. 3:48, I should say, left to go in the third quarter. Roosevelt taking an 11-point lead here and just outscoring the Eagles 14-3 here in the third quarter, leading at 39-28. Rough Riders trying to move on the perimeter of the Eagle zone. And on the baseline, long jumper won't go. Fight for the rebound, and the Rough Riders get it back, and ball knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Roosevelt. So 3-pointer by Sam Villa on the right baseline was no good. Rough Riders, that is Jalen Dollar with the ball on the top now, dribbling to his right. And the shot, 3-pointer, it is good. And I didn't see who hit that.
Sam Lynn.
Sam Lynn.
Now that we know who he is.
Yeah. Sam Lynn coming in doing a good job. And one of the few players, actually the only player on the court now wearing a mask. And so, which, is difficult. I can't imagine. I mean, we're having trouble, calling the game here with masks. I can imagine out there playing. Turnover on the play. And check that, a foul called. And I believe a foul is going to be called on Lynn. Yeah, it was. So going to the line for Cleveland is number 13, Trayvon Mitchell.
Well, the last game, the girls' varsity game, everyone had a mask on.
Yeah, and in the spring, so when the pandemic, with the Seattle Public Schools, the athletics, and the first free throw no good by Mitchell, last spring is when they started all of the sports, and at that time, both football and basketball, all the kids, all the referees were required to wear masks. Obviously, this fall, that was loosened a little bit, where more and more people were vaccinated. But now with the rise of the variant, Omicron variant, it'll be interesting to see. Second free throw is no good as well, and hope there won't be a rise. I was mentioning I'm at Seattle Academy, and our athletes are required to be tested 3 times a week, and trying to limit the number of people. Not trying, but limiting the number of people that can come to games as well. Here, there are no fans really allowed. There are a few people in the stands here, but nobody really allowed to go. Roosevelt shot is missed, but there for the putback, And again, using his height, that is number 10, Danilo Petrovic. And knocks another one down, giving the Rough Riders a 44-28 lead. And then the steal on the other end, and that's Dollar. Dollar to Petrovic. Petrovic, and good body movement there, or body control, I should say. And coming in to try to make the block was a DeAndre White, and Petrovic able to power it in and gets the bucket. Eagles on the other end, and the Eagles kind of have fallen apart a little bit here in the third quarter. Long three-pointer by White won't go, out of bounds, and to Roosevelt. So what are some of the things you're seeing? I mean, you talked about earlier, weren't showing a lot of patience on offense, but they just have kind of let it get away here. It was a tie ball game, and now they're trailing 46-28.
Yeah, the first half, a lot of the points came off of their defense. And they're not showing the same kind of defensive intensity and confidence they had in the first two quarters.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And again, like you said, that confidence does play a role, makes a difference. So Roosevelt moving the ball around. Jalen Dollar with it, looking for the shot into Petrovic. Petrovic backing in, turning. Oh, Petrovic using the window, another bucket. And that's Petrovic's 10th point here in the third quarter. And Val, you said it, Roosevelt is a different team with him on the court. Eagles on the other end, Mitchell. Long three-pointer, won't go. That was Mateo Tyker. And Roosevelt with the ball across the timeline. Jalen Dollar over to Sam Lynn. Lynn to Huntington. Lynn cut to the basket. Oh, and a great pass. And Sam Lynn. Oh, count it.
It's a great cut. Like I said, have number 10 touch the ball every single time down the court.
Absolutely. And Teicher with the three-pointer. It is good. I believe I'm pronouncing it right. I hope so. If not, I apologize. Mateo Teicher with the three-pointer for the Eagles. Still, it is a 50-31 score with Roosevelt leading Cleveland. 34.9 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. And a timeout on the court. And again, want to remind all of our listeners, we've got some great MLK Day programming scheduled for you on January 15th from noon until 5. Vendor fair right at the Columbia City Theater, the new home of Rainier Avenue Radio. So you can get in there and there'll be a vendor there. Come check it out. And then on the 16th, a virtual Youth Day performances and discussion panel. That'll be from 2 until 4 p.m. And then on January 17th, the rally and march. And we have covered that for the last several years. So the rally, and there'll be a number of speakers and different things going on at Garfield. And then the march will go from Garfield all the way over to the MLK Memorial over on MLK across from Amy Tennis Center right there. And kind of close to, if you're a native Seattleite, you know, it used to be the Six Stadium was over there where the Seattle Pilots played their one season. And so MLK, and that used to be Empire Way back in the day, but renamed MLK Way. And obviously, this is Martin Luther King Jr. County, thanks to former King County Councilman Larry Gossett, who fought that battle. And we became, and I think we might still be the only county that is named after MLK, but definitely the first, and I think the only. I'll have to check that out, check my facts on that. But again, a big thanks to Larry Gossett fighting that battle and honoring Dr. King. And good ball movement by the Rough Riders. Some contact there, Val. They don't call it. So.
I'm no ref, but that looked a little suspect.
Yeah, it looked like there's a little contact there on the shot. Nevertheless, no call, and the Rough Riders get the rebound, and then shot is no good, out of bounds. So the Eagles will have it. It looks like Coach Bruce Richardson kind of clearing the bench, getting some a couple of guys in there, still some of the starters in there. Beckwith with the ball over to White. Eagles moving the ball around baseline. Mitchell won't go. Shot is a little long, and with the rebound coming down. And the shot at the buzzer, no good. And so after three quarters, from what was a 25-25 tie at halftime, Roosevelt busting out with 25 points in that third quarter to Cleveland's 6 points, and they lead it by 19, 50-31, right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. Daniel, any scores or anything to update our fans on here while we have a quick break?
Oh, yeah, just to update earlier on, just Ode getting tested by Ballard by their defense, but Ballard was able to pull it in within 5 late in the third, but it was all day after that in the fourth. And they win that contest in a convincing fashion, 59-42, as O'Day prepares to visit Garfield this Tuesday on Rainier Avenue Radio at 7:15. Number 7 O'Day at number 1 Garfield. That's going down this Tuesday at 7:15. But before that, Garfield needs to beat Eastside Catholic tonight, 7:30 p.m. Number 16 Eastside Catholic will be hosting number 1 Garfield. Also in Metro action, West Seattle at number 5 will be at number 8 Seattle Prep. So a lot of heavyweights facing each other tonight in the Metro League.
Hey, Daniel, cool question. Do you know why we're seeing so many games on Saturday, which is not typically the reason? Is it have to do with both COVID and the lack of referees?
Well, this past week, the Metro League canceled all games and the last week before that.
Because of the snow?
Some of these are made-up games.
Got it.
Most of these teams haven't even played games in the past week and a half.
Got it. Okay,
Thank
you for that clarification.
COVID, there's a couple of reasons altogether.
Yep, got it. So we're about ready to start quarter number 4 here. We're live at Cleveland High School. I'm Rick Dupree along with Val Whiting. And the Eagles take the ball inbounds. They have the possession with Roosevelt leading 50-31. Jeremy Beckwith moving the ball around. DeAndre White with it. Almost loses it. Hands it off to Stefan Fasha. And a drive to the basket, Mitchell, and he is knocked down to the floor. So Trayvon Mitchell, again, attacking the basket. And Val, you talked about that earlier. When you attack the basket, good things happen.
Yes, they do. You set yourself up. You set your teammates up as well. And you draw fouls. And you look at the fouls. It's only the home team has no fouls.
Yeah. And Roosevelt 3-team fouls. Yeah. So right now, fouls in the second half, not a factor. Drive to the basket is DeAndre White, and a tough shot tried to reverse it in and wouldn't go. So the Rough Riders with the ball again.
He could have made it easier for himself and just used his left hand.
Yeah. Something you learn pretty early. On the left side, use that left hand. But, if that's your offhand, a lot of times players don't feel comfortable with that. Good cut to the basket for the Eagles, and the basket by number 33, Max Ernst. And I was talking to his dad at halftime, so Max gets in and gets a bucket. And Rough Riders with a 52-31 lead. Mitchell with the basket. Again, a tough shot, won't go. And Roosevelt with mainly the reserves on the floor now. Moving the ball around. And that is a Rylan Bashore. Bashore out to Jackson Huntington. And Huntington with the basket, drive to the basket, and tough shot, knocks it down. On the other end, the Eagles off the window. Number 12, Stefan Fasha. And Fasha with the bucket. Rough Riders in front court, moving the ball around. And we apologize if we sound a little muffled, but we are wearing masks here calling the game. That is, again, for the safety of everyone involved. So hopefully you are able to hear us and understand us okay. Rough Riders moving the ball around.
They did a good job moving the ball around, passing and cutting to the basket, making the defense work.
Yeah, they really are. And a good drive to the basket there by Hassan, won't go. And the Eagles on the run, taking it all the way to the basket, and fouled going up on the shot is DeAndre White. Foul, I believe, called on Rylan Bashore. So White will go to the line. He'll have a couple of shots. And again, if you're just joining us, you are listening to our live coverage of Metro League basketball. And as Daniel B. mentioned a moment ago, a number of games were canceled because of the snow. So that's why we're seeing a full slate of games here on Saturday. And the first free throw by DeAndre White is up and in. And a couple of substitutions for the Rough Riders coming in. Number 24 is Andrew Fortney. And number 33, check that, Max Scherson was already in. I believe it was number 32 that just came in, Lawson Bailey. Second free throw up and hits the front iron, no good. And rebound comes to the newly entered in the game, Andrew Fortney. And the Rough Riders now trying to move around, trying to find an opening in this Cleveland defense that has gone to man. And the drive to the basket, and a good block by Chris Sanders on the drive. And so the Rough Riders, though, will maintain possession, a new 30. 5:37 left to go in the ball game. Roosevelt leading Cleveland 54-34. And long three-pointer won't go. That's Huntington, but the rebound, Hassan, and Hassan puts it back up. And Val, you talked about you got to get a body and box a guy out, and that didn't happen that time.
Yeah, for sure. I find it hard to box out on air balls. I don't know about you, but air balls always tend to hit me in the face.
Yeah, you anticipate. You know, it's interesting. You talk about some of the great rebounders in the game, and Dennis Rodman, one of them, and talking about Hassan's free throw, no good. Talking about how he would know the trajectory of his teammate's shot and kind of know when it hits where it's going to go. I mean, you know, there's some science involved in there, and taking some. I mean, there's some real, you know, taking some time and studying and what have you. And people don't understand. I think sometimes some of the mental part and the, you know, that is really involved in that. But Dennis Rodman was a master rebounder, I tell you.
But yeah, well, it also takes knowing your offense and what shots you're going to get out of your offense, so you can start working to get that off your offensive rebound in advance, and defensively as well.
So the Rough Riders with the ball, 5 minutes left, and they call the turnover, kind of palming the ball. So the Eagles will take over. 5:08 left to go. The Rough Riders leading the Eagles 56-34. And I also want to remind you, make sure to tune in Tuesday night. We have number 7, I believe Daniel said. O'Day is number 7. They will be at number 1, Garfield. You can hear that game right here live on Rainier Avenue Radio at 7:15. And that is Mateo Teicher, I believe is how you pronounce it. Teicher with the drive to the basket off the window. And so Mateo coming in and getting a couple of good buckets for the Eagles. And a foul on the play. They're saying number 33. So that's a foul on Roosevelt, number 33, Max Ernst. Now I checked that, but that can't be right because the Rough Riders have possession here. So Val, I'm not sure. It looked like the ref was saying the foul was on 33. Oh, on number 3. Number 0. Thank you, Tony. Tony B trying to help me out here. And the foul was on DeAndre White of the Eagles. So the Rough Riders with the ball. I thought I saw the referee motioning 33, so forgive me for that. Yeah, 0-0. I had the fingers up. Good point, thank you. I saw the fingers up. That's 33 to me. The drive inside won't go. Good defense by the Eagles to contest the shot. And now the Eagles on the run. And there is Delgado, number 15, Mekhi Delgado. We were saying his name quite a bit in the first half. And the drive to the basket, and that is a Jaden Small with the bucket. Nothing but net there, a little runner. And yeah, we had mistaken because Darius Harvey was wearing number 5, and we had, again, Mateo wearing number 5. So anyway, what they said, drive to the basket on the other end won't go. Rebound to the Rough Riders. Putback won't go. And in for the rebound for the Eagles is Stefan Fasha. And now with the ball, Mateo Teicher. Teicher loses it, and I believe they're going to call it travel. I didn't think there was anyone had possession of the ball, but turnover nonetheless called. And so the ball will.
You can have the starters coming back in for the Rough Riders.
Yeah. No, I'm not sure. It's an 18-point lead with 3:39 left. Maybe just not happy with the reserves, what they were doing. I'm not sure. So Rough Riders with the ball, moving it around. Dollar on the right side. Into Washington. And I think they're going to say a foul on the floor. No, they're saying a foul on the shot. So Dante Washington will go to the line. I believe he has a couple of shots. So 3:26 left to go in the ball game. Roosevelt leading Cleveland 56-38. And first free throw by Dante Washington is up and in. It's good. He can extend the Rough Riders lead to 20 points with this free throw. Washington's second free throw up. And it is good as well. Nothing but net. So it gives Roosevelt a 20-point lead, 58-38 here with 3:20 left to go. Roosevelt a little bit of pressure and almost turnover, knocked out of bounds. And that was Rylan Bashore knocks it out of bounds, but Cleveland will keep possession. New 30 on the shot clock. And the pass underneath and won't go. And that was Makai Delgado, saw a teammate underneath and made a kind of a little risky pass, and unfortunately, his teammate was not able to handle it, so turnover. Roosevelt with the ball.
You hate to leave the floor when you're about to pass the ball. You want to not jump in the air. That's risky right there.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Val. And I was just saying that Danilo Petrovic back in the game and a cut to the basket, and again, easy laying for him, giving the Rough Riders a 22-point lead, 60-38. And then Petrovic with the steal, and they're going to say though he stepped on the sideline. So you talked about this earlier, Petrovic on both ends of the court, Val, getting it done, and he is going to be replaced. I think he may be done for the evening, and I've got him down with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 23 points, and a number of good defensive plays as well, as you pointed out. So the Eagles now moving the ball on the perimeter, and long three-pointer, kind of a forced shot there by Delgado, won't go. Rough Riders with it across the timeline. On a little drive and dish off, and the bucket won't go. That was the shot won't go, I should say. Dante Washington. I believe that was Sam Lynn. Made a nice drive to the basket and then kicked it back to Washington, but the shot wouldn't go. And now Washington replaced by number 24, Andrew Fortney, coming back in for Roosevelt. 2:24 left to go in the ball game. And the Roosevelt Rough Riders a commanding 60-38 lead. Eagles on the other end, three-pointer, and that's good. Nothing but net. Stefan Fasha knocks it down. Stefan coming off the bench and saying, don't give me a free three, I'm going to take it. And he knocks it down. And then Fasha coming in with the steal. Good anticipation there on the defense, on the defensive side of the ball. Delgado with it, loses the ball, gets it back, tries to pass it out. Fasha gets it, and Fasha going up, and he's going to be fouled. And they're going to say he was shooting. They're being kind of generous there, but hey, they'll take it. They'll take it. Because I was looking to see, okay, they're in the bonus. I was like, okay, it's on the floor. And then the referee came in, 2 shots. So Stefan. First shot is up. Hits the front iron, no good. He'll have one more. And checking back in for the Rough Riders, number 32, Lawson Bailey. Pasha, his second free throw up, and it is good. You know, one thing, Val, I've been impressed with, the high school, both boys and girls, regardless of the score. And a great steal there, defense by Chris Sanders. Sanders, the steal, goes in for the lay-in, won't go. Gets his own rebound, short shot, it's good. Chris Sanders coming in and making a play. I was going to say that regardless of the score, these kids continue to compete, which is really good to see.
Yeah, I mean, sports says, yeah, you want to win games and you want to score points, but it's the life lessons that you learn from being involved.
Yeah, well said. That is so, so important. Rough Riders on the other end, three-pointer, and that is Rylan Bashore knocks down the second three of the ball game, giving the Rough Riders a 63-44 lead. On the other end, the Eagles, the three-pointer won't go. Nothing but air on that one for Mateo Teicher.
Oh, another steal.
And I tell you what, the steal, that is a Sanders. And Sanders and then over to Stefan Fasha. Fasha kind of a one-handed taking it in. Like, I don't know, a lot of young people don't know who George McGinnis is, but you remember George McGinnis used to big old hands and taking. So Fasha takes it in for the lay-in off the steal by Chris Sanders. So again, the Eagles no quit here with 51 seconds left to go in the ball game. Rough Riders across the timeline, taking it himself all the way, won't go. That was number 2, Jackson Huntington. And the Eagles with the rebound, that's number 15, Makai Delgado. Delgado with the ball, looking for the three-pointer, puts it up, and no good off the back iron. And rebound to the big guy for the Roosevelt Rough Riders, Andrew Fortney. 23 seconds left to go in the ball game. Roosevelt leading at 63-46. So they're going to walk away with the win. It'll be their 4th win of the season, making them 4-3. And unfortunately for the Eagles, they remain with just the one win. Shot no good. Rebound for the Eagles. And last few seconds here, getting a little sloppy. The Eagles turn it over. Roosevelt has it, and they will just hold it. And that will do it. Our final kill, 63-46. Roosevelt leading, or rather beating the Cleveland Eagles. And now I think we saw a real competitive first half, but second half, Cleveland got away from the things that were working for them in the first half, and Roosevelt able to walk away with the win.
Yeah, really surprised by how the game ended because I thought that Cleveland had so much confidence from that first half that they were going to continue in the third and fourth quarters, but they were a totally different team.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I think the third quarter we saw Roosevelt really go out on a run, and they outscored the Eagles. I believe it was I want to say it was 25 to 6 in that third quarter, and that was the ball game. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Cleveland High School. Again, a reminder. Tune in Tuesday night, 7:15. We will bring you number 7 O'Day at number 1 Garfield. You can hear it right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. Also see the stream on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. And again, don't forget to stay with us for special MLK Day programming coming up on January 15th, 16th, and 17th. More about that in upcoming broadcasting. You can see it on our website as well. And I will finish with this, is just remembering, if you are a cultural producer, For Culture has some money for you. Check them out. Go to the website, and they have a pandemic relief money. So if you suffered losses of $1,000 or more and can document that, you would qualify or eligible for a grant with For Culture, and that grant will be anywhere from $1,000 up to $12,000. That is with For Culture. So go to forculture.org for more information. That's going to do it for me, Rick Dupree. Val Whiting, great to call the game with you again. And I will turn it over to Daniel B. Until Tuesday. Take care, Daniel. What do you got?
Yes, and thank you everybody for watching in tonight's game or today's game. If you enjoyed our broadcast, make sure you give us a coin or two by donating, as you can see in the upper left corner of the screen. Donate at Venmo, Rainier Avenue Radio, Rainier Ave Radio. And if you don't have Venmo, there's other options. Just go to our website, RainierAvenueRadio.world. Click on donate on the menu, and we have several options for you to donate there and help support us. That helps us possibly do more games for you, have better equipment, all that kind of stuff. So anything that you can contribute, we appreciate you. And thank you to the Heart by Rhonda Dorsey. She's one of the supporters of our Lidline Sports Show on Mondays at 7 p.m. We always see the seam there. So if you want to check out Granville Emerson, Pepe Bean, and Otis Stevenson, who always give a recap on sports, you can check them out Mondays on Rainier Avenue Radio at 7 p.m. Lidline Sports. Check them out there. As Rick Dupree just said, we'll be broadcasting Garfield and O'Day this Tuesday, 7:15. But we got more Metro action for you next Friday. Franklin will be hosting this Roosevelt team here, so check it out on Friday nights at 6 or 7 p.m. Look at your local schedule on Rainier Avenue Radio. Just click schedule there, and you'll find out when the game is. But we'll be broadcasting that as well next Friday. So thank you all for tuning in to today's game on Rainier Avenue Radio, your community radio station. This is Daniel Bellis saying peace and bless.